What's going on, everyone? Welcome to KO Bets. You know, I'm working off of a different computer here. Not really sure what's going on with the music. Didn't really think that through. You know, I'm just flying through this thing, just trying to put together, from a new computer, a new kind of presentation, just so I could do the show today. And it's going to be like this probably for the next couple weeks while I just transition and get some new equipment. But yeah, I'm just trying to put something together. So I use this neon theme. Supposedly the chat comments are supposed to pop up here, but I don't see those popping up in the Discord here. Or not the Discord. That logo looks an awful lot like Discord, though, doesn't it? Little bit. But yeah, just, some technical stuff we're working out. Let me get some light on me. A little more light on me. So we got March Madness going on. Just wrapped up my career as a bag salesman. It was a lot of fun. It was, always something I'll remember and be grateful for, just the connections you make and the just kind of one of those crazy jobs, like, I don't know, when I was 24 or whatever, when I took the job, it was like all bags are made in China or overseas somewhere. And lo and behold, just here in the Chicago market, there was a nice bag manufacturer. Took a job with them and never really looked back. Just got a new opportunity, so I'll be going downtown more. Really looking forward to that, though. So that starts on Monday. I'm not really taking off any time. It's the struggle of it. You're trying to give your old employer 2-week notice. You're going in with your new employer. They want you in there as soon as possible to start. So in the chat, I know it's not popping up here. You can get a link to my Discord channel. If you want to follow that group, we have a discussion. It's me and my best friend. We run the group. We just have discussions during the fights on who we like. The official bets we're placing oftentimes get posted there. There's been some members joining steadily, which is good. It's growing stronger, right? As far as the NFT giveaway, I know some people tune in for that. We are at 26 subscribers. So I said once we get to 100, so hopefully we can do that by the end of 2022. I think we can. I'm going to do my part to make sure people are subscribing, sharing it. Maybe one day that could be a thing. This was just a Valentine's gift, really cute. I get like 6 views a week, but I got my own merch. Without further ado, let's get into this. We got UFC Fight Night tomorrow night. Volkov taking on Aspinal. It's in London. That's pretty fucking sick. The O2 Arena is where it's taking place. I'm not sure who plays there, but I know I've been there before. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel, like the channel. Happy belated St. Patrick's Day. That's a Guinness. Super enjoyable beer. If you like, I know not everyone likes stouts. It kind of has a bold flavor, but it's a nice beer. Let's get up the channel here. Yeah, you're gonna see it's just visually a little different, Ooh, my nose is tickling, like allergies. Ooh. They usually come in twos too, so we'll see what happens. So the first fight, we've got Muhammad Makayev taking on Cody Durden. Cody Durden is the heavy underdog at plus 340. He's 1-1-1 in the UFC. He has a draw. Muhammad, he's coming in making his UFC debut. Heavy favorite. So, like, how in the world is Muhammad making his debut the favorite? This dude went 22-0, I think, on the amateur circuit. He's a very highly touted prospect. Measurables look good. Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, people like Muhammad. James Krause, I follow his TikTok. He talks about like 3 fights he likes. This was one of them, to my surprise. You know, I mean, some people do that. They'll pick like a pretty heavy favorite, but he's minus 450, and he's taking on Cody Durden, who's a wrestler. Kind of sloppy as far as the stand-up game, but he might be, you know, have a veteran kind of presence to him and just be real savvy as far as the stand-up game. But by all accounts, Muhammad Makayev just seems like a powerful prospect that you could potentially, you know, I don't know if you're going to parlay minus 450 odds. I love seeing what the odds makers like. So they think the fight is not going to go the distance. As far as the winning method, yeah, I think you can be confident in Muhammad Makayev. I don't think we're going to see, just because he's going up against another wrestler, I don't think we're going to see any sort of submission. But, I mean, there is a chance, like, Muhammad gets that finish. Let's see. Yeah, so kind of, if you want to pick your poison, if you like the KO decision, KO submission decision, you can kind of pick your poison there. As far as odds, like, Cody Durden does have 2 losses via submission. So, I mean, it's possible we see a finish in this fight. I guess combined between the 2 of them, we're looking at 4 total decisions here. No, 5 total decisions. So, I don't know. It's kind of tough to predict the outcome. I like Muhammad. People just seem high on him, and I don't want to bet on him for that reason, but his resume is pretty impressive for someone making their debut. Like, potential championship material, top 10 material, contender type fighter we might have here. But, you know, once upon a time, I think Islam might have lost his debut. Stuff happens. So, just very highly touted prospect. Nathaniel Wood versus Vince Morales got canceled. So we're moving on to Corey McKenna, 6-1 professionally, taking on Elise Reed, 4-1. Corey McKenna definitely is going to be. We're gonna describe her. She's gonna have the wrestling base. Definitely gonna be the stronger, I think, girl in this fight. Elise Reed fought a tough opponent in Shajara Eubanks in her debut fight. Pretty much just got, like, manhandled on the ground and then she lost via knockout. Just didn't really display any evidence of having substantial ground game. So she's going to likely want to keep this fight standing up on the feet. And even then, like, I don't know. I just like Corey McKenna in this. And she is a pretty heavy favorite at minus 275. McKenna comes in 1-0 in the UFC. Elise Reed 0-1 in the UFC. Way tougher opponent. Last fight, though, in my opinion. I don't really know what to expect here. I like Corey McKenna a lot. Like to see what the odds makers like. I'm guessing they like a decision, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, minus 250 for the decision. So they're liking probably the Corey McKenna decision. Yeah, minus 120. So, I mean, McKenna's not like a terrible fighter to... Like, if we did a parlay just right off the bat, that's minus 152. That's tough, but, you know, you could do... minus 130. Sorry, I'm just... we'll get back to it. Just was trying to find, like, a positive money opportunity. And we'll get back to... We should go through the rest of the card, though. Jack Shore, 15-0. Timur Valiev, 18-2. One no contest. Jack Shore has been super impressive thus far in the UFC. Coming in at 4-0. Timur, 2-0 in the UFC with one no contest. Impressive in his own right. We'll go ahead and give Timur the stand-up advantage in this fight. Simply, I mean, I don't think the discrepancy is going to be that stark between Timur and Jack Shore on the feet. You know, Timur just has a more creative approach, I would say, is going to be able to throw more looks out there, more angles, more techniques. Jack Shore is going to be more technical. You can see that pretty much in the defense numbers right there. So basically, Jack Shore, if he's going to get on your back, he's going to rear naked choke you. Terrific at jiu-jitsu. It's a good fight. It's a really good fight. Part of me, looking at Timur's resume, like, I don't think he's going to get, like, necessarily wrestled the whole time. But it's going to be tough for Jack Shore to put this guy away. We're going to go with Jack Shore on the money line. It is a good fight, though. As far as the odds makers, what are they liking? It's always fun to check. Loady Wody. That took a long time. Alright, fight props. They do like it to go the distance. I mean, we're talking about a combined 0 finishes on their losses. So, like, neither guy's been finished before. Valiev's reached 11 decisions. 13 decisions, 11-2 in those results. Jack's only been in 3 decisions. He's 3-0. So with Jack Shore, it's kind of like, hey, I'm gonna ride this dude, kind of like Bryce Mitchell, ride this dude till till he loses, you know, until we see him get exposed, and we haven't really seen that yet in his UFC career. So, like Jack Shore a lot in this. It is a tough matchup, though, so probably won't be putting this into any sort of parlays. Probably just looking to, you know, subsidize like a bet on like Corey McKenna, Sergey Pavlovich, Ilya, Pimblett, you know, some of those people I also like on the money line. You're just going to have to find creative ways to make your bet worthwhile. Next fight, we've got Nikita Krylov, favorite at -190, taking on Paul Craig, +160. I like Nikita in this. Paul Craig, He's good at what he does, which is jiu-jitsu. Definitely a really good jiu-jitsu artist. You can see that 80% of his wins have come via submission. Huge finish prowess in this fight. I didn't even realize that before. I mean, I guess as I was writing down stats, all 15 of Paul Craig's wins, right? And Nikita's only been to a decision once as well. So Nikita's 2-3 in the UFC. His 3 losses: Glover Teixeira, Jan Blachowicz, Magomed Ankalaev. Like, understandable. I don't think Paul Craig is going to present the same challenge as those fighters did. But Nikita's definitely got to be prepared and ready to grapple. If Paul Craig gets him down, we'll give Paul Craig the jiu-jitsu advantage, but I think Nikita is going to be the better striker. I think Nikita is going to hopefully be able to avoid any sort of submission opportunity or attempts by Paul Craig. If we're looking at the odds makers, they do not like this fight to go the distance. They probably like the KO for Nikita and the submission for Paul. Yep. Yeah, Paul Craig is bad on the feet, so maybe, a prudent line in this would be, man, they got the over-under at 1.5 rounds. That's tough. I was going to say if it's at 2.5, yeah, maybe under 2.5, minus 180. That's kind of interesting. Like, what did we say the finish was? Minus 250. Yeah, kind of like that under 2.5. Gonna make a note of that. After my fight picks, I'd love to share what I'm doing with the March Madness. It's pretty fun and it's paying off okay. And I've got reasoning and strategy behind it, but I digress. Let's continue in the down the card. We are on the 5th fight. Should have been the 6th fight, but the 5th fight. We are going to pull it up here just because I'm going to have trouble pronouncing this first guy's name. Shamil Abdurakhimov, facing off against Sergey Pavlovich. Shamil is the heavy underdog in this fight. He is carrying plus 260 odds. He's on a 2-fight losing streak in the UFC. Sergey Pavlovich, minus 335, heavy favorite, much younger fighter, 1-2 in the UFC, but has faced some tough opponents here initially. Carries a wrestling base to him, but he just, out of his 14 wins, 11 of them are KOs. And then if we're looking how Shamil is losing as of late, he has, out of his 6 losses, 4 of them have been KO losses. So I kind of think just it sets the stage for a Shamil knockout loss here. That's what I think the play is. Sergey is obviously the heavy favorite, and I think, shouldn't say obviously, but I think he deserves to carry those odds as the favorite. If we're looking at the winning method, they're gonna like the KO. Yeah, minus 225. I almost even like, my gosh, round 1 KO. I was gonna say like Sergey and under 1.5. Yeah, minus 140. Like, we could do something like that. Sergey rounds 1 and 2, minus 200, just to get better odds. Just getting some ideas put together. Probably feel pretty confident. Like, I might parlay Sergey with like a Muhammad or Corey McKenna, something like that. I don't know about Muhammad, actually. I don't know. We'll have to see about a parlay, but I wrote in the description of the video, I would love to hear your parlays in the comment section. once the video's posted. I'd love to hear, your favorite parlay. I think that would be cool to share. And then I'll share my March madness. Like, it's a mad time of year, and I thrive in those scenarios, so I'm a madman. Mike Grundy taking on Makwan Americani. Man, I haven't seen Makwan fight that much. I know what he does. He's a wrestler, tries to submit people. Yeah, I mean, just lately has been super underwhelming. 3-fight losing streak, 1-4 in his last 5. He's going to be the underdog in this at plus 165 odds. Carries that wrestling base. Yeah, it kind of needs to show or go, maybe to a different promotion or something. But he's facing Mike Grundy. I think this is a winnable fight for Makwan. Mike Grundy's minus 195 odds. 1-2 in the UFC. He is on a 2-fight losing streak. Mike Grundy is also a wrestler. I don't think he's as good of a wrestler as Makwan, but I think maybe he's more competitive and maybe gonna have the better output on the feet and have the better gas tank ultimately in this fight. So I kind of like Mike Grundy, over. I like those fight parlays. Kind of like Mike Grundy and over something. Let's see what the odds makers are thinking. They think it will go the distance. Winning method: Mike Grundy decision plus 110, Makwan decision plus 350. I mean, they both do have pretty good chokeout prowess, so I think it's possible we would see that later round submission if Makwan got super tired in the second round, third round. So Mike Grundy in over 1.5 rounds is minus 165. I forget what fight it was last week. I got a little burned on something. Oh my gosh. Some of the stuff I said last week, I was like Nostradamus. What did I said Thiago in his last fight versus Walker, he was timid, went to a decision. We should have expected that. Song Yadong looked great. Marlon Morales didn't look great. Cleo Roundtree, that was a good pick. Uzo chick fight, I think. Oh, Miranda Maverick. I did Miranda and over a round and a half. I think it missed by, we're talking 5 to 15 seconds. It was pretty close, but she did get the second round finish, I believe. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but you got to deal with it, right? If that happens. We got Jai Herbert taking on Ilya Topura. This is the first event of the main card. Ilya is a heavy favorite, minus 600. He's 3-0 in the UFC. Jai Herbert, underdog, plus 435. He's 1-2 in the UFC. Jai's got a good boxing base. He'll probably look pretty decent and respectable on the feet in this fight. Look at that huge reach advantage. That is an enormous reach advantage. So I think this is going to be a fight Ilya should dominate, should win. I'm not super confident we're going to see Ilya perform, have an all-time great performance. He's going against, unless he just takes them down, swarms them, gets a submission win, Dagestani style. I don't really necessarily see that happening. It's just, man, I kind of want to think there's going to be value on some of the, I think they're going to like a finish in this. I think there's going to be value on something like maybe later in the fight, like Ilya and over kind of a deal. I see Jai Herbert, and I'm thinking like it might take a little while to get him tired if you're going to put him away. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but minus 600 odds is making me look elsewhere for earning opportunities with a really good prospect in Ilya Topuria. Like, you like him, but yeah, now he's already to minus 630. Fight to go the distance, no, minus 550. They like the Topuria KO or submission potentially. If we did Ilya Topuria to win by KO or submission, that's minus 330. Like, so I think where we're left maybe looking is for, yeah, like, why? I guess Jai's only been in one decision, and Ilya's only been in one decision, but why not risk so much less on, like, an Ilya, just like something that might carry some value? And I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it a little bit, but let's see. Over a round and a half. Like, yeah, maybe I feel there's some value on the over. Spain without the S. Ilya Topuria wins via KO and under 2.5 total rounds. Is this special for that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe there's some value on over a round and a half. You know, I might do a little bit of that. Bet on, let's see if we could combine two things really well. Ilya over a round and a half plus 150. Ilya, I was hoping there would be under 2.5, but there isn't. Ilya rounds 1 and 2. Yeah, I don't know. Might just be best, like, taking Ilya. Paddy Pimblett and him kind of got into it. Not really sure what that was about. Probably because Paddy's fighting higher on the card, and Ilya's probably the better prospect. Next fight, we've got Molly McCann taking on Luana Carolina. Molly McCann, 11-4, 1-fight win streak. Luana Carolina, she's 3-1 in the UFC. It's an interesting fight. Molly McCann's going to carry, like, she's going to have the grappling advantage. We'll give that to her. I don't know if she's going to have the punching advantage in this. Maybe she does. I don't know. I kind of like Luana Carolina to fight a safe fight on the outside, use her length, her range to really manage the stand-up game. And then she doesn't have, like, terrible takedown defense. And she appears to have long... I don't know. Luana's the slight underdog at plus 120. Molly's the favorite at minus 140. For some reason, I'm just feeling Luana in this. And it's a tough opponent. I can understand, like, if Molly McCann is hitting her takedowns early in this fight, she's probably going to win the fight. If Molly McCann's able to close the distance without getting hit too bad or multiple times, like if she's able to keep the output relatively similar to the input, I would think Molly McCann's going to win. Part of me thinks we're going to see Luana fight the type of fight she wants to fight. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm thinking specifically of this fight. I mean, and I know Talia's like obviously an incredible fighter. No. Although she did just beat Kim. Okay, maybe it was this fight. Maybe I thought like Kim. Oh, it was a good fight. Yeah. I mean, Molly's got that heart. Maybe I'm off. You know what? We're switching it. We're going with Molly McCann. I mean, it's a lot of output for Yi Young Kim. But those takedowns, that ability to get those takedowns, like as long as she's going to be competitive on the feet, Molly McCann should win this fight. I think the decision is probably likely in that bout. I'm not sure what the odds makers are saying. Let's give that a quick check here. Minus 330. Yeah, so they probably like the Molly McCann decision. I mean, if it's going to be that close, like, where's a fight prop? Fight to be won by split or majority decision. I was going to say like that, but plus 350 is not real great odds for that. So never mind. If it was like plus 8 or something, I would say like, hey, that's a possibility. But next fight here, we've got Gunnar Nelson taking on Takashi Sato. I'm not gonna lie, like, I think Gunnar Nelson's gonna win this, but minus 490 odds. Come on, like, that seems a bit steep, a bit ridiculous. We're going to give Takashi the advantage in the stand-up. He's the heavy underdog, plus 360. He's 1-2 in his last 3. Does have KO prowess and ability. I mean, ultimately, we're just looking for Gunnar Nelson to go for the grappling, right? Exchanges. So maybe something you could watch for on a live bet opportunity is like if Gunnar Nelson isn't able to consistently score takedowns early in the first round, like it's not necessarily going to mean he's going to lose the fight because Takashi could slow down, but I don't know if Gunnar warrants like minus 490 odds. I don't know when the last time we saw this guy fight was. His last fight was 2019 versus Gilbert Burns. So, I don't know. It's just been like a long time. And then we got Takashi Soto, who's, like I said, we'll give him a stand-up advantage, but okay, got like Bilal Muhammad went 3 rounds with him. Do we think Gunnar Nelson's like way better than Bilal Muhammad? I don't know. I think if Gunnar's gonna make any move in this division, he'd probably better submit this guy. That's just my opinion. Fight to go the distance, no, minus 250. Gunner sub, minus 125. Takashi KO, plus 650. I think if Takashi wins, it'll likely be that KO. I don't know, actually. This man's gone the distance against both Gilbert Burns and what's that contender? I can't remember his name ever because he never fights. I keep wanting to say Anthony Edwards, the basketball player. What is this dude's first name? Leon Edwards. Leon, that's right. Man. What do you do with Leon? He's gonna get Usman, I guess, but McGregor could definitely step in there and take that. Yeah, so I guess we'll go with Gunnar Nelson, just assuming he's going to have a big grappling advantage and ultimately get a submission win, something like that. But 510, minus 510, gosh, I'd have him at minus 490. What's he at now? Yeah, minus 490 still. Like, good lord. Same with this one. Paddy Pimblett, Cazuela Vargas. If Cazuela doesn't knock out Paddy in the first round, like, he's just not going to stand a chance. And I like the Paddy finish. I like the finish in this. It's just... You're not going to hang 650 on Paddy to win 100, you know what I mean? So... yeah, maybe some value on... let's see. They don't even have 2.5. I was gonna see maybe some... what are the... yeah, minus 330. Over under a round and a half. It's tough, man. Winning method, Paddy Pimblett, KO sub, minus 200. Yeah, maybe I'm just having fun with some more props. Like, I like Paddy. I want to bet on him. What are you going to do, though? Minus 650. Come on. Like... I don't know what you're going to do with that, you know? I like Pimblett inside the distance, minus 200, I guess. Arnold Allen, and the reason I like that, I think Paddy Pimblett's output is tremendous. I think he's, like, maybe he's not the best fighter, or the skills don't, like, match up to the hype, but, like, the dude's a competitor, and, like, you gotta at least be... like, confident in the fact that he's going to go 3 rounds, 5 rounds, 8 rounds, like, and he's going to try and win every round. So, yeah, I don't know. Tough odds, man. Next fight, we've got Arnold Allen taking on Dan Hooker. Now, this said 166 pounds. What? I'm pretty sure this fight... yeah, 145. Okay. Just kind of unique, because Dan's coming down from 155. I was like, did I get this wrong? Are they heavier? No. So, yeah, Dan's coming back down from 155 to 145. Draws a tough opponent in Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen draws a tough opponent in Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker has been in some battles as of late. He's 1-3 in his last 4. We're talking Islam, Dustin, beat Nakarast, Hakaparast, lost to Chandler in Chandler's debut. That was kind of a crazy KO. Could have been avoided, in my opinion, by Dan, but Arnold Allen, he is 8-0 in the UFC. Yeah, 8-0, 5 KOs, 4 submission, 8 decisions. His one loss was a decision. Really, really good fighter. Ultimately, I kind of like just like the challenges Dan Hooker is going to present as an elite striker, city kickboxing. I mean, what happened against Islam. He got taken down. It's whatever. I mean, this dude's going to be a big 145-pounder. He's got elite striking. He's got good takedown defense. I know Arnold Allen's going to be the hometown favorite in this, or I should say one of them, right? There's a freaking person from the United Kingdom on every fight of this card. But ultimately, I think I like Dan Hooker at -105. I just think he's going to present some size challenges for Arnold, and then he brings like crazy elite experience and terrific stand-up, has that flying knee if Arnold's going to go in for takedowns. It'll be interesting to see how his speed translates, but I mean, we'll have to see. What do the odds makers like? They like the fight to go the distance. That is not atypical of a Dan Hooker fight. As of late, it kind of is, but it is not atypical. They probably like Arnold decision, Hooker decision. I mean, I don't know. At -105, probably not looking to chase any sort of odds. I mean, I guess if I'm liking Dan to win, like, you can pretty much discount a submission or KO submission. So we could do like a Dan Hooker KO decision for +100. Arnold Allen, you could do like submission decision +120. I don't think Arnold Allen's going to knock out Dan Hooker. I just don't see it happening. I like Dan Hooker a lot in this fight. Big step up, in my opinion, in competition for Arnold Allen. I mean, who was he just in there with? Yusuf, who we just saw last week, looked pretty good. Melendez, Lentz. I just kind of want to see this because Sadiq is good. And it looks like Sadiq was picking him up on the feet, and then he got taken down a couple of times, and that's why he lost. So I think Dan's going to avoid those takedowns just with the bigger frame coming down from 155. I think that's going to be a tough fight for someone who's probably got to use grappling to win the bout. And it's just my opinion. Next fight, we've got Alexander Volkov taking on Tom Aspinal. Alexander, 3-1 in his last 4. He's on a 1-fight win streak. Tom Aspinal, he is 4-0 in the UFC. This is a good heavyweight fight. I'm guessing the odds makers absolutely love a finish. How could you not? Okay, so they don't absolutely love it, but it is a 5-round bout. If we're looking at the finish prowess of both of these fighters, like all Tom's wins have been finishes, 9 KOs, 2 submissions. He's a good boxer, very technical, interesting stand-up game for a heavyweight. Probably going to give him the grappling advantage in this fight. Just imagine, we've just seen him, like when he needs to, he's not afraid to use it. So I could see him against a guy like Alexander Volkov. You might need the grappling, the reach advantage. Some of like the stuff you really like about Volkov versus other fighters, you're not seeing like crazy metrics here. So yeah, I mean, I kind of like Tom Aspinall in this. I think he's going to be a little more athletic, a little more quick. Volkov does what he does well. He's going to fire punches out there. He is a powerful puncher. We'll give him like, just from a respect standpoint, I'll give Alexander Volkov like a slight stand-up advantage, but I don't think the discrepancy's that big. And then Tom Aspinall, just like the overall game, the kicking, the takedown ability, the strength, like I think that's all gonna kind of sway in his favor. So I like Tom Aspinall a lot in this fight. As far as the winning method, I mean, minus 130 isn't bad odds. Plus 180. So they like a finish in this. Yeah, I mean, 5 rounds is just a lot for heavyweights to do. And obviously, they're both going to carry pretty good takeout prowess. Volkov's definitely has more of that resume of point striking, going the distance. Should be an interesting fight for sure. So now I get to share my March Madness strategy, right? So get this. This is incredible. I've been literally betting the over for every single March Madness game. And the reasoning is, it's like there are some totals that are crazy high total, but I just think like in the tournament setting where you're like specifically at ends of games and halves, like coaches are so like, they're almost like over-coaching in certain scenarios where they're just like, I'm gonna essentially like I gotta get a 2-for-1 here kind of a deal, and the coaching's so incredible. So today thus far, I can't bet on the Illinois game, so it didn't. I know Loyola didn't hit. The over, that total was like at 90 something, and the over was 122. But I was able to bet on 14 total today. U of I was another one I wasn't able to get. So 1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 have not gone over. Yesterday it was 11 out of 17 didn't go over. If you're doing minus 110 odds, that means you get paid 90% for every dollar. And if you're doing that at a 66% rate, you're walking away with money always. Or sorry, a 60% rate, you're walking away with good money typically. And yesterday I cashed out at a 66% rate. So it's just something interesting that I've been doing. If I'm looking at some of the over-unders here that we've got left going, I just kind of want to give you updates. Yeah, so what I do then is like a 2 or 3 team round robin. Basically, you're getting all the 2-3 game parlays that you can out of this combo. All the odds are minus 110. So Iowa, LSU over-under was at 128.5. So it's dropped a little bit. Cal State Fullerton versus Duke. 145 was the total, so that's dropped a little bit. Wright State Arizona over-unders 156.5. That's dropped a little. Yeah, so it looks like I definitely need these teams to kind of pick up the slack here in the second half, but we could see that. Like, you see frustration, you see different stuff happen in games. So we got Michigan State, Davidson took the, I just went straight overs. So we'll see how it worked. I think I bet like $68 yesterday, and I had like $333 in my DraftKings account. So I'm hoping for something similar to happen today with that strategy. And hey, if it works out, I'm doing the same thing tomorrow. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you tuning in. If you have any questions, hit me up in the Discord there. You could also hit me up on Twitter. I don't have my handle here though, because I didn't, as I said to start the show, I just look at a previous video and find it. I couldn't even tell you what my Twitter handle was. But yeah, I think I'm going to sign off here. My allergies are starting to work themselves up pretty good, so I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off so I can maybe dress into something more comfortable, and yeah, just watch some college basketball. So, alright, if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment your parlays in the comment section. Would love to hear it. Have a great weekend, everyone, and I will talk to you next week. Peace.